Well, longevity medicine is everywhere right now. Supplements, IVs, and biohacking. People are spending real money trying to slow aging. So you may be wondering, what's real and what actually works? Well, here to tell us more is Dr. Georgie Nanos of the Kind Health Group. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so this is such an interesting topic to me. I mean, I feel like I see so much of this, especially now with social media, and I'm sure you see it as well. As an MD. So many people, posting about this, sharing what they think works and what doesn't. So coming from a doctor, what does work that's out there?
Okay, so what does work, we got to get back to the fundamentals. So there's a couple core areas that are really important. The first is our sleep, our cardiac health, our metabolic health, our muscle mass, our ability to manage our chronic stress. Those are really the fundamentals. But it's really hard out there right now because of social media. Everyone's an expert. Everyone's claiming to have their magic solution, and it's really hard for patients to really separate hype from what's real science and what's grounded in real evidence.
Right. So getting to that, I mean, unless I know some people, especially like my mom's a big one. She'll research. She takes the time when she's going to Sprouts for vitamins, things like that. Right. She'll do her research, but at the end of the day, not everybody has the time to do the research. So how do you decipher from like what's real and what's hype?
Yeah, so knowing where you're getting your information, especially online. Everyone does claim to be an expert, but training, credentials, accountability, all of those things really matter. So kind of looking where the information is coming from. For example, a lot of people may claim to be a doctor online. There's only two initials after, I'm going to say this to the camera, two initials after someone's name in the United States that makes them a licensed medical doctor, and that's an MD or a DO, full stop. Everyone else, not really medical doctors, so you have to take that into account. And then, if you're looking at people, you got to look at what is being measured. Real medicine is being measured. So if we're not measuring outcomes like blood pressure and labs and biomarkers and cognitive function and sleep in meaningful ways, then you might be being sold something that doesn't necessarily have any serious value to it, and we call that sometimes wellness theater.
Right. Well, and that's so interesting you bring up, like going back to all the different options that people have out there to choose from. What does the science say? What would you recommend to someone who came to you asking, I want to really step it up?
So starts with, again, back to the fundamentals, looking at your cardiac and your metabolic health, looking at your cholesterol, your blood pressure. Blood pressure is one of the leading risk factors for heart disease and stroke. Knowing, again, your cardiac health is probably the most important thing. And for me, I think people don't realize necessarily that cardiac disease is the #1 killer more than every single cancer combined. And so knowing those numbers and then taking proactive steps like exercising regularly, building muscle mass, aerobic exercise is also very important. Right now, muscle building is having its moment, but our VO2 max, your cardiorespiratory fitness, is incredibly important, is a huge marker for longevity. So that's also really important. And then focusing on sleep and brain health, because your cognitive function is also critical. Chronic stress and inflammation leads to increased cortisol levels, and that also creates more decline for our body. So our brain is our command center, and protecting that is also critically important.
Right. I mean, like you said, it's all tied together. So really taking care of one thing could help you take care of so many other things.
Yeah, and being mindful of like what is. There's so many. Wellness is a big business right now.
Right.
So I just caution people to just look seriously at what's being sold to you and where it's coming from, and to look at it cautiously. Fear-based selling is also very common. I see a lot of ads out there like your doctor doesn't want you to know this, or like you're aging faster than you think. So if the people are using scare tactics, that's another red flag to be cautious of. And just look at what's being measured. That's the big thing too.
Wow, good to know. Such wonderful tips and great reminders for all of us to start the new year on the right foot.
Yeah,
Thank you
exactly.
so much, Dr. Nanos. Thanks for joining us.
You are so welcome.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you. You
See
too.
next time. Thank you.